What is up, guys? Arm here today, and today I have for you a video where we're going to be discussing one of the most confusing subjects in the game, gems. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you how to get them, where to get them, which ones you get, which ones are sort of the best ones to have in each slot, all of that good stuff that you are dying to know. Also how to upgrade your gems. So first things first, let's make sure you've gotten all the possible gems from the story before we go any further. So from playing through the story, you should have gotten a square sapphire, a square ruby, a square citron. You should have gotten a triangular diamond, a triangular peridot, and a triangular amethyst. So you should have 6 gems at your disposal for completing the story. So after you get those 6 gems, how do you improve the gems that you already have? Well, first things first, if you already have the gems, you can go ahead and get 2 more of the same type. Now, in order for this to work, it has to be a Hong Moon gem. So the peridot and the amethyst and the diamond, I believe as well, are all not applicable to this. However, the citron, the ruby, and the sapphire do, since they are Hong Moon gems. So if I hover over one of them, as you can see, it says Hong Moon Square Sapphire. So it has to be a Hong Moon gem for this method, so make sure you're using a Hong Moon gem. A lot of people were trying to transmute the diamond that I talk about in another video, and it doesn't work because it is not a Hong Moon square diamond, it is just a square diamond. So when it is a set of square Hong Moon whatever gems that you're trying to use, right? You go to the transmute menu, which is in the bottom of your inventory. It's the middle option. In the transmute menu, you'll see a whole bunch of tabs here. So what you want to do, since I have 3 sapphires to demonstrate, you're going to want to go to the sapphire tab. But if you have any of the other ones, it's just going to be whichever one that you have. So when you go ahead and get to this menu, you're going to see that you have your 3 gems. It should all be highlighted here. If your gem is equipped to your weapon, it will not show up here. So make sure you take your gem off of your weapon if you're going to go this route. You also need some other materials, though, to make this transmutation, to make this new gem. So as you can see, when you transmute it, you're going to get a 1 step above gem. So it's going to give you a pentagonal gem. Instead of a square, it goes to pentagonal. If you do it with pentagonal gems, it gives you hexagonal. If you do it with hexagonal gems as your material, it gives you heptagonal. And if you use heptagonals, it gives you an octagonal. So this is how you continue to upgrade. So you just keep adding more and more gems and upgrading higher and higher. But anyway, back to the pentagonal gem. You're going to see that you need a bunch of different materials. So the first one is a mysterious crystal. This item is only found from the King Kari boss in the cold storage dungeon. So the cold storage dungeon is once daily and it has a chance to drop. It's a relatively low drop rate item, so you're going to be farming for a lot of these. However, it is super easy to get this item from the Daily Dash. So Daily Dash will be starting back up on October 5th, I think, October 5th, if memory serves. So you'll be able to get a whole bunch of them. As you can see here, I have literally more than I could want in any lifetime. I've got 3 pages worth of mysterious crystals just sitting here. So they're a pretty frequent item. So if you're a newer player, you're going to get a lot of these as you play through your daily dash. So don't worry about farming it if you don't have any. Just wait for a couple more days when daily dash comes back. Anyway, next item is soulstone crystals, which hopefully you know how to get by now. And I'll also have videos on farming soulstone crystals actually in the very near future. After that, you need this thing called Radiant Energy. This is another super low drop rate item, super rare item. It drops from the Heroic Silver Frost dungeon. So if you don't know what those are, if you open up your play infographic over here on the side, you can go ahead and hover over the dungeons and see what's on their loot drops. So Avalanche Den the Yeti has a small chance to drop Radiant Energy. As you can see, it's actually blocked by my webcam, so I'll move it over a little bit. Bottom left corner of that thing, it says Radiant Energy. So it drops from that, it drops from Lair of the Frozen Fang. It could drop from Awakened Necropolis. It could also drop from the lower blue dungeons in the Silver Frost as well, but an even lower drop rate than that. So Shrieking Caverns, Chunk of Frost Cavern. Even Ebon Hall doesn't, Ebon Drake Hideout does not, but then there is Ogong's Folly, which has an incredibly low drop rate as well. So if you wanted to farm it, those would how you farm it. However, right now with Trove being around, the Radiant Energy is actually super cheap on the marketplace, all things considered. Usually this is an 18 to 20 gold item, so at 750 it's a pretty low price, and actually it should go up in price too, so if you wanted to go ahead and invest some money into this, now would be a good time if you planned on making some money back like you were playing the stocks or something. So anyway, that's how you get Radiant Energy for the transmutation. Back into the transmute menu now. Final item is Moonstone Crystals. I have a video on how to farm Moonstone Crystals, so just go ahead and watch that if you don't know how to get them. But they are pretty common, all things considered. So that is the materials you need to do. So once you get all those materials together, you will go ahead and get your pentagonal sapphire. It's really that simple. You just hit transmute, and that is how you transmute a pentagonal gem, or a next gem up. Same idea if you want to transmute hexagonal, just they have to be the Hong Moon variety of the gem. So that is how you transmute new gems. So what are other ways to get it? Well, next one is through events. So if you go through the Dragon Express and you click on the event tabs, there are the two little treasure pouch, gift bag, gift box tabs on it. You'll see that there are the most recent two events here, and this will rotate when the next event starts on October 18th. This tab right here will go away, and you'll no longer be able to see it. So if you participated in the last event, you'll see that there was actually an option for two gems here. So we had a pentagonal sapphire and a pentagonal ruby. Which was a nice upgrade if you've only had the square ones, or if you were trying to do the transmute menu and you needed another pentagonal sapphire or something to complete it into your hexagonal. This was a great way to get it, and this is how you get more gems the free-to-play way. So you have to do events. So for example, the event right now has a hexagonal amethyst, which is a really awesome gem. If you have the bells, I highly recommend it. It is very much worth the pointage here. It's a really, really solid upgrade for your stats. So that is how you go ahead and get gems. You run events, you gather the event currencies, and then you buy the gems from the event. So I don't know what the next one will be, but if I had to take a guess, it will probably be a citron or a peridot. That's usually where they end up on their little rotation. It could also be an aquamarine, which is a really rarer one that they do, very, very rarely. So I don't know. Those are your basic three options here at this point, though, that you could be expecting for the next event. Because I highly doubt they'll go back to doing the same gem that they did last event, which was the sapphire and the ruby. So anyway, that is the other way to get gems, or another way to get gems. Another way to get gems is through the F10 menu. So in the Hong Moon store, there is a very low chance that one of the daily specials, the today's specials items, will be a gem. And at that point, the pentagonals cost 129 N coin or 129 Hong Moon coins if you were to go ahead and buy it. So that is the pay-to-play way to go ahead and pick up gems. It's just a click buy and then equip it to your character. I actually have one in my received items. This is where it'll go. It'll go to your received items menu, and if I just type in, I believe it's an amethyst that I have. As you can see, I purchased an amethyst, anticipating for the gunner, but I also already had an amethyst, so I kind of wasted the money. But that is another way to get it. I bought it with Hong Moon coins, don't worry. So that is another way to get a gem. So that is how you purchase the color gems. But what about diamonds? I haven't covered diamonds at all yet. So the diamond is really quite interesting, actually. So you can go from the triangular to the square via Mushin's Tower. If you clear the 20th floor of Mushin's Tower, the Tower of Infinity, it'll allow you the ability to purchase a square diamond. So the square diamond is not a Hong Moon variety, it is just a square diamond. So do not purchase more than one of them. Do not try to transmute it and wonder why it's not working. It is because it's not a Hong Moon variety. So you can purchase that gem, though, for a 10 AP increase really quick. No grinding required or anything like that. Now, if you want to get these diamonds any other ways, it's going to involve the Radiant Ring. So if I open up my crafting menu, I have the Radiant Ring here, and you will see these items called the diamond pouches. So you can see there are 4 different varieties. You have a pentagonal, hexagonal, heptagonal, and octagonal diamond pouch. So these diamond pouches have a very, very small chance of containing an attack power diamond. There are 4 options for diamonds. I believe it is defense, block, additional damage, and attack power. So obviously everybody wants the attack power diamond, and as you could see in the marketplace, if there's even any available, they go for a ton of money. So if I just type in attack power diamond, and we're looking for the higher attack power ones, yeah, right here. So you could see the heptagonal diamond is currently going for 4,000 gold if you wanted to go ahead and buy it, which is absolutely crazy money. Crazy money, 4,000 gold for that. But as you can see, the costs to craft this are absurd. You're looking at tons of materials. You're looking at crazy, just crazy. It's crazy how much it costs. So this is how you go ahead and craft better diamonds, though. So if you want to play with RNG and spend a ton of money, this is the way to go. You have a 1 in 4 chance of getting your diamond that you're looking for. And that is how you craft diamonds. So those are all of the gems. That is how to get them. That is where you get them. So one more little thing to add to it is which gems are the best in slot. So as a general rule of thumb, the ones that you have the highest percentages and values in are generally your best ones. But if you were to put it in a decreasing tier list of gems, it would have to be your first and foremost being your diamond. Diamonds give you the greatest attack power bonus. After that, I would pick the amethyst. So the amethyst gives you life drain when you get a critical hit. So whenever you get a critical hit, you heal yourself. You like to be getting a lot of critical hits in this game. So it's nice to get that steady lifesteal, I guess, if you could call it. So I would definitely, if you only have 2 slots, you would go with the diamond and the amethyst. They're the 2 most important gems, and if you're focusing on which one to upgrade first, amethyst is the one. The other gem that is super cool is the aquamarine. So this is an event item that comes out every once in a while, sort of a rarer gem, I guess, if you wanted to call it that. But anyway, with this gem, um, it has really cool effects. So if you get a critical hit, like before on the other gems, you gain life drain. So it's kind of like a hybrid amethyst. But the other thing that it gives you, which is awesome, is 10% focus recovery. So, or depending on whichever tier you have. I mean, if you have the octagonal, it has 10% focus recovery as well, but greater life drain. So those are the stats depending on your tier of the gem. But those stats combined with each other are super, super useful for keeping your character sustained. Another gem that I totally forgot to mention is the obsidian. So the obsidian gems are obtained from the Celestial Basin Merchant, but to get that you need to farm to a higher level dungeon. I believe it's Iron Tech Forge. I could be mistaken. Actually, I can just check the play infographic and make sure. Yeah, Iron Tech Forge. You need the Transcendence engines from that dungeon. But anyway, if you do have the obsidians, or if you have been trophy and you pick up the obsidians, this gem is super, super amazing, really, as long as it's in your element. So if you have your element gem, so for example, I'm a shadow gunner, so I'm trying to find the shadow one. It doesn't really matter. Say I was a wind gunner, and I would want to make sure I got the obsidian with the wind damage, and you want to put this gem in. After that, it becomes a bit more situational. So personally, I really enjoy the Citron because it gives you life drain as well on something that has a CC applied to it. So it's nice to be able to get that lifesteal back if somebody's grabbing the boss or holding a boss, or if somebody CC'd the boss during a dungeon, or if you're just fighting trash mobs and you CC a whole bunch of them. It's nice to get that extra life drain. Another one that's actually really cool is the Pentagonal Ruby. So whenever this procs, you get a guaranteed 3 critical hits on your next 3 abilities. So if you're just right mouse buttoning and you don't pay attention to it, you'll get your 3 crits on your right mouse button and you won't notice it. But if you are using a bigger DPS skill, for example on the Gunslinger, the Burst Tombstone, and this gem procs, your next 3 tombstones are going to be critical hits, or your next 3 attacks on that tombstone, which is huge damage bonus because it gets more damage as it crits. Other classes, same idea. Like Dragon Tongue on Blade Master, your next 3 Dragon Tongues will be huge DPS bonuses. So it's a really, really cool gem for whenever it procs. Another one that's actually interesting is the Paradote. So if you dodge or evade a skill, you gain life regen, which is really, really cool. It's nice to have that life regen bonus. So that is what I would go with for those. However, when your accuracy is low, when you have lower accuracy, say sub 120%, in exchange of the Paradote, I would go for the Sapphire. So whenever the enemy dodges or evades, the Sapphire is the gem that gives you bonus damage, and it gives you guaranteed critical hits on your next time. So, for example, when the accuracy problems happened at the last patch, or 2 patches ago, or 2 weeks ago, where bosses were dodging a whole bunch of stuff, the Sapphire was one of the best gems to have because it guaranteed you a ton of critical hits, even if you were missing. So it's a great, great gem to have if you have lower accuracy. As far as other gems go, the Emerald is no longer really too much of a useful gem, since it only applies on a block, and you don't really tend to block too much in the game. Also, I really don't even know where you could possibly get emeralds anymore. It's kind of phased itself out of the game. So if I had to put a general tier list one last time, I would rank Diamond highest, I would rank Sapphire, or I would rank Amethyst next. So Diamond, Amethyst, then I would go ahead and put Obsidian as your 3rd priority. I would put the Aquamarine, if you have it, as your 4th priority. Citron at 5, Ruby at 6, and then Sapphire at 7, Paradote at 8, and Emerald at 9. I believe that is all of them. So that is the tier list. I'll put it up on the screen when I'm saying it to make it easier to understand. But those are the gems, guys, and that is how to get them, where to find them, how to upgrade them, how to make them. I believe I've covered just about everything you could possibly ask about gems. So thanks for watching. I hope you found the video useful. If you did, make sure you leave a like. Check out the other stuff on the channel. Got a lot of great stuff, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next video. Peace.